Hello, Meoni here. Welcome back to another video. This time we're on Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, the Chinese version, sort of talking about things and the current situation with the cash shop. We've done a video before where we looked at new things and kind of hoped and prayed that we would get these things come over to the retail global version of Final Fantasy XIV. But at the moment, these things are exclusive to that of the mobile version. I think the first thing to talk about then is that the recent addition of a hoverboard mount, if you remember my video on that, they've added skins to a gacha system. So if we look on here, there are effectively 6 versions of skins for that hoverboard, where you can have like a bombling and it affects like the particle effects on the back. We've got a chocobo chick with yellow particle effects. We've got a Spriggan carrying a rock with purple particle effects. We have a copper core skin, green particle effects. And then you've got a fat cat, which looks really nice with pink particle effects. And then the top one, the rarest one, is a Moogle playing a trumpet and has musical notes coming out the back of it as well. If you've not seen these before, effectively, they are pretty cool hoverboards that I hope one day get added to Final Fantasy XIV retail, but you know, these are pretty cool hoverboards compared to the Cosmo board, but we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, it is a gacha item, so you need to spend 6,120 crystals to effectively have a pull on that, and there is a percentage chance of actually getting them, with 5% being the rarest item, of course. Again, these are all cosmetic. It is just a mount skin, and of course you need to have purchased the actual original mount for 22,800 crystals. So yeah, to give you a sort of an estimate of that is kind of difficult if we were to try and convert that into US dollars, considering that you cannot purchase the exact amount needed for an item on the store from the store itself. So the conversion rate doesn't really make sense. It's one of the things that bugs me in a lot of modern games, especially mobile games, which is one of the reasons I don't usually play them, and I don't really like gacha mechanics for that. Again, I did say it was going to be a bit of a old man yells at clouds. You might be more familiar with this than me, but effectively having to pay for 2 boxes of something just because there isn't a box with that exact price, it just makes me appreciate the Final Fantasy XIV Online store a lot more when I look at things like this. Personally, that's just my opinion. But effectively, you're looking at, what, $45 for a hoverboard with a skin, but that chance of that skin being, you know, completely random out of 6 different designs, and if you get lucky, you get a Moogle. So that's one of the things. They've also been adding these outfits. So if we go to this section, this is a little bit easier to show you this. I edited in this audio here just to explain what's going on here. So I was a little bit confused that it showed something like an emote being different on the front. This is actually really cool. So apparently, as your character logs out of the game wearing this top, any of those 2 tops, the new one that's demonstrated on a male or female character on the store here, effectively the Moogle will change its emote and its actual design when you log out of the game and log back in. You can also set this manually, apparently, through a setting menu, and courtesy of Hikisaku Oka, I think I've probably butchered your name, this is an image they took of the different expressions. So effectively the outfit changes randomly by logging out and in of the game, and you know, it's an interesting piece of tech though, isn't it? And sort of having a different outfit change every time you log in. It's interesting how much stuff they're experimenting with, honestly. And then, of course, we've got some new hairstyles. We've got 2 new hairstyles to show you here. Firstly, we've got this beautiful ponytail, which has this long flowing ponytail with physics on it at the back with a bun, sort of almost like a ribbon design on the back there with little braids, and then a sort of side front there to the bangs, a little mini ponytail, little pigtail rather. That's quite nice, isn't it? It's quite nice. So what, 4,320? So what's that? About $7 US, I think, roughly. So not too bad. Not too bad. And then there's the one that they debuted with some artwork on a Elizon, but that's what it looks like on Amy Kote. Kind of reminds me of Leon Helsos's hairstyle from Bosja. It's got some nice physics on it as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Again, about $7 US. So they're adding quite a few things to the cash shop, which is not really a massive surprise if you didn't know already. The Chinese and Korean versions of the actual full game have had access to unrestricted glamours for crafters and gatherers for the longest time through their cash shop. The mobile version lets you purchase those as well. Oh, look at the fidelity on this outfit. It looks so good. But I'm looking forward to the retail versions patch 7.4 so we can basically do the same thing, right, but for free in the game, which is a big deal. And that's one thing I will say is, like, as much as like gacha and elements like that kind of annoy me, there's nothing to say that it's going to stay the same way when this comes over to the West. Maybe that's a bit of copium, but personally, I would spend money on a video game if I was enjoying it, if I had access to direct payment for an item. If I have to go through this setup, which is probably likely, I probably will not spend any money on the game. If I'm perfectly honest with you. I'm the sort of person that likes to go to a cash shop and go, oh look, it's $10 for this. Can I afford that this month? Yes. Can I treat myself to something fun I enjoy? For a game I enjoy? There you go. There's $15. You know, the exact amount, rather than having to bring up a calculator and go, oh, what, I need 22,800. 22,800. I could buy a bigger box that I don't need, or I could try and bodge together, but I really can't stand that stuff. That's just my opinion, though. You might completely disagree. But yeah, there's lots of outfits. The hairstyles are the biggest thing. Another thing they've added, if you didn't know, is the pudgy puck mount. So this is adorable. There's some artwork where they had a Lalafell flying around on this. It's a balloon, effectively. I don't know why this isn't in our version of the game. This is something that should come over. It's so cool. You see little patchwork things there. Very nice. And then another thing that is quite controversial at the moment this isn't the controversial thing. That's just an emote. The biggest controversy at the moment is this. Nail Darnas's wings. So as far as I can work out, the base wings that you can purchase here is 25,800 crystals, which roughly, if I've done my maths correct, is around $36, right? Just under 37 US dollars. And that's quite expensive for, you know, what is effectively wings. They also have an action button. I don't know if you've seen this. Where effectively they've combined like a Meister quality statue emote that you would get in retail. So you'd get that emote that looks cool in the game and you'd show off to your friends with some wings. And that in itself is quite cool. What I don't really like is the fact that this is something that can be upgraded. As far as I can tell from what people have said on the internet, and I don't know if we believe anyone on the internet these days, because quite honestly, it could be complete hoo-ha. But effectively, you're going to be able to upgrade these wings. So you'll be able to make them glow. Effectively, there will be these items that you can purchase, supposedly, where you can guarantee upgrades, and you need to upgrade it 3 stages. And somebody worked out that with the materials that are posted on the internet, at least, you need 24 rounds of materials, which would cost you nearly 40,000 yen, right? Which is what they worked it out to, which is around 255 US dollars to get fully upgraded glowy wings. Now, I don't know if it extends beyond it just being glowy, but obviously, you know, you've got the purchase of the wings, and then you've got future upgrades to make them glow, supposedly. Again, we're going to take that with a pinch of salt, because as far as I can tell, it's not currently in the game, or at least I can't find a menu when I've been spending the last couple of hours trying to find that. But if that is true, that is incredibly expensive. It's, I mean, in retrospect, like, you look at something like Where Winds Meet that recently came out, that has a cosmetic shop that you can purchase, you know, a 40,000 US dollar yacht. I am not making that up. And effectively, like with all the trimmings, it goes up to something like $70,000. You can look that up on the internet. Things are getting a little bit crazy because people will purchase this stuff. I don't know, man. It's kind of like flexing because you're rich. I don't I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. I really don't like the idea of something, jumping through hoops to find what currency I need to purchase to get an item, but also I don't like the idea of, you know, spending unrealistic amounts of money, even if it is cosmetic items. If that is true, again, I don't know if that's true, but it's being posted around Reddit and talked about. But from what I can tell, this is the most controversial thing. And from what little I know, again, I seem to have broken my camera here. My character's sort of lopsided. They are effectively just wings. I guess it's just trying to cash in on the Uber whales, right? I guess. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this stuff. The idea of the actual wings and the emote combined, I quite like the idea of it. But the price is ridiculous if that is the case. But then, you know, would I spend $45 on wings with an emote? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know how I feel about it. But there we go. But yeah, that's pretty much what they've added. There's a gacha for the hoverboards, different hairstyles and stuff that we've looked at before. But the biggest things that they've added is the controversial wings, which people are talking about. And then we've got the pudgy puck mount, and then the new hairstyles that I desperately would like to have. The outfits, they're okay. But yeah, I need this hairstyle in the retail version of the game. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, that was my old man yells at clouds moment. I'm not a gacha player. I'm still kind of optimistic for Final Fantasy XIV Mobile. I need to play our version of it. Again, all of this could be just Chinese related stuff that doesn't make it over. We'll have to wait and see. But if it does come out in the same exact way, it does not paint a great picture for me wanting to pay money on the game in the slightest. I mean, that's my biggest problem, is the fact that you can't just pay for the item that you want to get. You have to go through the hoops of all these crystals and stuff, and oh, I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. Mobile games probably just aren't for me. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'll see you all next time. I do want the hairstyle to come over. Damn, it's so good.